Drinking rice wine is weird. Hey guys, so today I am going to talk about Shaoxing rice wine. Now, it's one of the most widely used, Chinese wines, Chinese cooking wines, and everybody's always asking, well, what if I don't have this wine? What can I substitute? And I thought that being someone that I don't really drink that much, and so when someone says, oh, you can totally substitute sherry, it's, dry and it's whatever, I never totally understand what it means. So I thought, why not give this guy a try in front of you guys, and I can describe really all of the flavors to you, and maybe that will help you understand a little bit more about the wine. Okay, so Shaoxing rice wine is made from glutinous rice and also red yeast, so that may attribute for some of its color. Now, for those of you who are allergic to wheat, maybe gluten, you're gluten sensitive, there is 5.6% or like a smaller amount of wheat in this. So for those that need to be careful of that, make sure to read and check over all of the ingredients. Shaoxing rice wine is from the Zhejiang province of China. So that's sort of, it's on the east coast. It's kind of above the south, but it's like somewhere in the middle. And that area, the type of cuisines that they're really known for is kind of like fresh, it's seafoody, it's sweet, it's not, kind of overly spicy and whatnot. And so there's actually a couple different types of Shaoxing rice wines. Some of them are made for drinking, and those are fermented for a longer period of time. It's actually really cool if you read kind of a little bit to the background of this. What families used to do is the day that their daughter is born, they will go and make one bottle of this Shaoxing rice wine, and then they'll like bury it or ferment it or something. They won't open it until the day that their daughter gets married. So it's actually quite sweet. It's actually quite cool. But Shaoxing cooking rice wine, I think that they take around 50% of that original Shaoxing wine, and this is 13.5% alcohol by volume. It's water, it's rice, and it's wheat. They will also flavor it with clove and star anise and a lot of these kind of sweet spices as well. And you'll see that it has a nice light kind of caramelly color, almost like like a whiskey or a bourbon or something. And I guess in the US, rice wines also need the addition of salt to prevent additional bacteria. So I guess that may change the taste of different Shaoxing rice wines sold in different countries as well. So let's just get to the trying first. So I'm not totally gonna just drink all of that. But yeah, it's like a nice light color. Again, people liken it to like a sherry, so it's somewhat stronger in flavor. It's a little bit spicy. That's kind of what I've read. So let me just try this. Okay, so upon first whiff, for those of you who are Chinese, right, and you guys might know this, there's like a rubbing alcohol for when you get bruises or you get hurt or your muscles are sore that moms usually rub on their kids. And then there's this really kind of old, plummy, kind of like date-like smell in the backdrop, and this is exactly what this smells like. I think you can also kind of smell that it's ever so slightly spicy, but I would say like a little bit of spice. It definitely smells like plums, definitely smells like dates, and it kind of smells old. Okay, so it's not bad. Okay, so it's hard to describe. I think it starts off I taste just ever so slightly a little bit of acidity, and then it's a little bit maybe the tannins of red wine start coming in. There is just a little bit of spice from something, and then that kind of deep plum, kind of deep old plum prune flavor, and kind of old date flavor come in. And so whatever you guys find that you can substitute it for, so if you drink sherry, I think maybe sherry is a good substitute. It's hard for me to say, but I think it is a little bit dry as well. It is a drier type of wine, although there's so many flavors going on. Like it's also savory as well. Like after you've tasted it for a bit, like there's something like, I don't want to say meaty, it's just there's something savory about it as well. And so if you do drink alcohol, maybe sherry is going to be a good substitute, but if you don't, you could probably kind of blend the flavors of what I've said together and then get something kind of close to this. So generally where you'll see Shaoxing rice wine, or what you'll use it for, is in a lot of braised dishes and a lot of like heavy meat dishes. In general, rice wine is added to a dish usually to get rid of some of that like meaty, gamey flavor. And of course, when you're cooking vegan, that's not necessarily the case, but usually then rice wine just adds like a nice kind of like deep aged flavor to the backdrop, very much like when you add, you know, red wine to a sauce. And so yeah, that's really Shaoxing rice wine. I'm thinking about doing just a lineup of all of the Chinese cooking wines, or the Chinese and kind of like Asian, Japanese cooking wines for you guys, so that we can do a taste test of all of them. I also wanted to just take like a general white cooking wine and then just compare it to the Shaoxing rice wine. They're both this is 13.5% alcohol. This is 14.5. This one has salt in it. This doesn't have any flavor to it in terms of smell. Ugh, drinking rice wine is weird. You can definitely tell, so this has the 1.5% salt in it. You can definitely tell, like the immediate flavor is salt. And I think that's why on some of the websites that you read, if you can get your hands on something that is not salted, try to do that, because salt really masks that flavor. So there's not that much complexity in Chinese just white cooking wines. As I've mentioned before, a lot of the times the Chinese just put this guy in to mask, or like to kind of like get rid of, I guess, like neutralize some of the meatiness and some of the gaminess flavor. Otherwise, I feel like there's like a tinge of maybe like slightly sourness in the background, but there's definitely more complexity in the Shaoxing rice wine versus the white cooking wine. I feel like is sort of like vodka. It's really just the base for cooking wines, right? So anyways, guys, let me know if you have any more questions. I hope I did a good job of just describing the flavors to you guys versus, you know, just providing you a substitute. But definitely they'll say that sherry is a good sub for your Shaoxing rice wine. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little short explanation of these guys, and I will see you again next time. Bye.